sort of, then I have to type it out 822.36, which also is not going through. See, it's not very friendly. It's very annoying, and it gets the nerves of the patient. And I cannot, and that's why you find that people don't fill it up properly over there. Now, if I click on plus over here, look at the bill. Total amount that I'm collecting is 11644. Why? Now I have to go to cash and remove this amount. Now it becomes 822. So you see, the amount of hassle that is there in order to record a credit card payment, or sorry, a card payment, is so much that people end up just clicking on cash and saying, yeah, yes, okay, fine, just give it to me. Which means then your accounts are going wrong, and your money is not, actual money is not there. So you're expecting that there is hard cash of 5,000 riyals in your cashier's account, but it's not. He only has 1,000 riyals as hard cash. The rest of the 4,000 are span cards, span slips. So this is something that is also very annoying, and we should sort of find a better way. My recommendation was to most of the hospitals are integrating with POS machines. So you have your Gidia, the POS machine from the banks. You have to integrate it with this one. So when you click on send amount, it sends the amount on the machine. When the person taps or swipes the card on the machine, that information gets passed over here and automatically saved. That it's a Visa card, and this is the account number, this is the approval number coming back, and all those things. All those amount will be saved over here. So that is the integration that needs to be done. It's a very straightforward integration, and I think that Kamita should sort of take over that. I'm going to click OK. Of course, if you see the print option next to that, it shows that automatically when you click on save, there's going to be a print of the receipt also. So it's going to ask me that, do you want to print invoice, yes or no? I'm going to say no right now. But I will show you a sample of the invoice so that you can get an idea of what comes on the invoice. There's one thing that I didn't do is that is billing a service that is not there ordered by the doctor, but you want to bill something. Okay, how do you do that? Now see, this screen is empty, right? I'm gonna now click on the encounter like I did last time. I know which encounter I'm talking about, the one that he came on 16th of November. So I'm double clicking on that, and I'm going to add something, for example, to bill under this patient. CBC, add. See, it got added with need approval option. The light green is need approval, so you can see that very clearly. If it was blue, it was exclusion. Let me try something that is excluded. Maybe an MR. Okay, even MR is, forget it. So the idea is that I can add some services on my own also and build them if I have to, if required. For example, the nurse says that, oh, I used this patient for this patient, I used some IV set or something, or IV cannulation was done, or IV injection was given to him. So okay, fine, that service I will add and I will bill. See, I added the 30 real service, and I'm going to bill him for that IV injection that I gave treatment to him right now in the OP treatment room. I can do that. If it needs approval, but actually it doesn't need, it's 30 reals, it doesn't need approval. So how to override it? If you remember last time, we said to inclusion. Okay, to inclusion and to self-pay. Self-pay means cash, of course, and to inclusion option means included with the insurance. So I'm going to say to inclusion. I'll write approved by supervisor. Once again, and I'll put the supervisor's ID, for example, 1232. And I mentioned once again, I'll tell you that this list should not be text. People can put a dot and proceed. It should not be a text. It should be a drop down list. So tomorrow, if we see that how many people have overridden and allowed the services, if we don't report weekly, just to keep an eye on people that what amount they're overriding and things like that, then we should be able to see the reasons behind it. That what are the most common reasons and who is the one who is mostly approving these things. So you can see the ID of the person and we can go through that. Okay. Also, there should be a limit that a person can only override or do inclusion if the amount is less than 50 reals. Okay, that means the impact is not going to be that bad. Something like that should be there. If we start giving this option to everyone, because right now there is no limit. So Kamita should put a check or a validation that to inclusion service, of course, it's privilege, but if done, there should be a limit to it also. That you can do it only for an amount of 50 riyals or 100 riyals, something like that. so that people don't there's no malpractice or something that happens for them. Anyways, now this is done. I'm gonna click on this item and then save on. I don't want to print.
Excuse me, Osama.
Yeah, please.
The manual addition of the service, it's a privilege, right? The cashier outside, they don't have it.
No, it's not really a privilege per se, but definitely you can list down. You can remove those privileges if you have to. You can stop it, block it. May I know why you are asking this? Asking to block this one?
Because it shouldn't be that anyone can add any service.
Uh, Yeah, you're right. Okay. They shouldn't be allowed to add any service, but even if they did, for example, and if it is not approved and it's not part of this one, then we have the timestamp. We will know that why this service was added. First, we can catch people by that, and secondly, it will not allow you to proceed if you don't have the inclusion option. If I don't have the privilege of making to inclusion, I won't be allowed to proceed with the service billing itself, and I can't say to bill by cash. If I say bill by cash, my cashier tonight is going to come and ask me for the money. And when he tells me that, okay, give me the 30 reals and you don't have it, then what you're going to do? So eventually, there is no, even if he bills it or if someone tries to bill it just because he has the privilege, what is the outcome? He's not going to benefit from anything. This is a very common discussion that has already happened. That's why I'm so confident with the answer. Because most of the hospitals have already discussed that should this be an open option, yes or no? And yeah, sometimes it's open. You can keep it as an open privilege for people, but your point is right, and you can restrict these services. So if you tell me that some in this DMFH hospital we want to restrict everyone from ordering things, you can do it. It's just about the policy. So you're right.
Yeah, but if he add it and not bill it, it will come in the revenue or no?
No, it won't come in the revenue. The screen
Okay.
doesn't save. Yeah, if I
Okay.
do this and I get out, Yasashi won't even remember that I did this.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can do everything over here till I click the button save. So so that is how you add some extra service and you bill it, and you can do that for the services. You can do that for the pharmacy also. Why pharmacy? Consumables. Same nurse comes and tells you that, okay, I used a tongue depressor on this patient or something like that. Alcohol swabs on this patient. So bill that also. So I can go there, and rightfully so. So I'm going to say first floor is the outpatient room, for example. So I'm going to say that, okay, from here I'm going to deduct alcohol swabs. There's nothing whatsoever in this. Sorry, there's nothing. Anyways, if there was something, I would have been adding it like this and billing it. It's just two tabs: service tab, service orders, and pharmacy orders. Pharmacy means medications. Anything that has inventory is pharmacy. So consumables and medications and everything as in the pharmacy orders, and services are in service orders. That's the only difference between the two things. You also have an option of availed services. So many people will check that. So let's say Nadia comes and tells me that, Nadia, Osama, did you build the IV service for this patient? Because there's two receptionists sitting and they are confused that, did you build the IV service? Yes or no on Qasim. I said, I don't know. Can you check? How will someone check this? He will go to availed services and they will say that in the last, under this episode of cardiology, go and show me what service they built. So it shows me that one consultation was built, one ECG was built, and one TT was built. The 30 reals IV service was not built. So then I can now go and proceed and build. Ideally, if the screen was opening within the other screen, it would have been great, because right now, if I go back to service delivery, and this is what I was trying to tell Nadia, that if I don't save anything, this is what happens. You can't see anything. It clears away and doesn't even record that this was a part of the revenue or whatever. So ideally, if this screen could open up as a pop-up, it would have been better, so that you can see something and come back and still continue your work. But the problem is that if you click on it, then it clears and you have to again redo it. You can always see last 1 month, show me what are the services that was built, and then you can identify that, okay, fine, these two was billed for this patient. You can see that who was the doctor, who was the user who billed it, and what was the date and time that was at what it was billed. If any bill cancellation is done, you can see the cancellation reasons and things also. Today we'll see that. We'll try to cancel a bill and we'll identify that part. I can always click on the procedure and it will show me that there is a CR and a CS bill. Why? Because there was sponsor and a cash part. That's why there is a CS and CR bill. If the patient says that give me my bill, you can do that. You can reprint on this, click on this button for Mohammed Qasim, the 52 Riyals bill, and it will give you a reprint of what we have requested. This is the invoice of DMFH that has the information on the top, headers here, services listed down over here, and then the breakup, all the information under this one. There's an arbitration. There's a discussion going on whether or not this information is so much that you end up having very less space to list down orders. If you go to internal medicine, he's going to give you a whole check, right? And he's going to order like 10-15 tests for you. Definitely the invoice is going to be like multiple pages for unnecessarily. So we were discussing that this is a lot of information that you're showing over here. There's a huge footer, there's a huge this thing. At least make it like a A5, A4 invoice, because now unnecessarily twice printouts are coming out for no reason and things like that. So there was a discussion on that, but nothing has been done over there. The CEO was very particular about this, so haven't changed anything. Anyways, that's how you sort of take a look at what this patient has been billed for. You can always click on a detailed print. If I do this, it sort of gives me a breakdown of everything that this patient has done in the selection that I have. So it tells me that in this particular visit, in last 1 month, I did these 2 billings, and total collection was 822 Riyals worth. And who billed it? What happened? What was the co-payment? Which insurance did I use? Who was the last user who updated it? All this information will come over here. This is extremely good when you are following up about a patient's case. Then yeah, you will get a catch, and you can easily track down this stuff from here. So it's this last icon on the top. Whatever you search in this screen, it will show you over here. So if I do like last 3 months, go all these things, right? Now if I click on this one, it will show me all those things. So it's a print of what you see. Whatever you're seeing over here is going to give you a print of that. So good that way. Now let's see how to settle the due amount, right? Right now we could see that. Before we do that, let's see advances. I want to collect advance for this patient. How can I collect an advance for this patient? Let's say he's giving me 5,000 Riyals, 1,000 Riyals advance. Okay. So I can take that 1,000 Riyals, I can write the amount that I want to collect, 1,000 Riyals. I can now collect this amount against the patient, or I can collect the amount against an encounter. Why do I say these two things? Against the patient means he can use it for whenever he wants, whatever he wants, wherever he does. That 1,000 Riyals, he could use it for his dental clinic, he could use it for his physio payments, he could use it for his medications that he's the service charges that he's doing whenever he comes to the hospital to take a B12 injection. It can be many things, right? Scenarios are there. But if I take it against the encounter, that means that only for this particular encounter, this 1,000 Riyals is used. You cannot use this in dental. You cannot use it in cardiology. You cannot use it for OPD treatment clinic. You can only use it for the physiotherapy sessions that I'm coming for. So that also is the right of the patient, and he can say that, okay, they're depositing 1,000 Riyals against my cardiology consultation because I have to come repeatedly to you. So whenever I do come, please utilize an amount. So that's how advance can be used. Not to mention that advance is also used for your admission. So pre-admission, if someone comes and gives an advance and books a sort of a royal suite for us and things like that, then yeah, we can also do that. We can collect the advance and keep it against the patient's file. And when the admission happens, you can use that advance in his admission also. It's very straightforward. I've taken the advance and I'm going to click on save. Same thing over here also. If I don't want that part, I can always open this box, take the card payment, do the same bit that we were doing that last time, and you're back to what you want.
Mr. Osama, this is Dr. Abdurrahman speaking. If you may allow me to ask you a question, if you don't mind.
Yes, please. Yeah, yeah. Please go ahead.
Okay, let's suppose that I would